So in this video, students, we are going to discuss about deduction plus one full-fledged example of calculation of salary. So first of all, deduction from gross salary, section 10, section 16, subsection IA 2 and 3. So first one is standard deduction. So lower of the following shall be allowed as a standard deduction to employee 50,000 and amount of gross salary. Let us say amount of gross salary is 70,000. In this case, he will get deduction of 50,000. Let us say salary is only 40,000. Now in this case, he will get deduction of only 40,000 because it is less than 50,000. If it is less than 50,000, then whatever is your gross salary, full amount is exempted. So maximum standard deduction is available 50,000, and it can be asked as a MCQ. What is the maximum limit in case of standard deduction under section 16 subsection IA? Now next one is very simple and very short. Entertainment allowance, section 16 subsection 2. Entertainment allowance is initially included in taxable allowances as fully taxable. Thereafter a deduction is allowed under this section from gross taxable salary. However, deduction under section 16 subsection 2 shall be available to the government employee only. So deduction of entertainment allowance is allowed only to a government employee. Like deduction from entertainment allowance being minimum of the following: actual entertainment allowance received 5,000 and 20% of basic salary. So from these three value, whichever is the lowest value, you have to deduct. But here treatment is very different. What you have to do? First of all, you have to add entertainment allowance, and then you have to deduct entertainment allowance. So in by doing so, what you are doing actually, it is possible that, let us say, entertainment allowance 20,000 he has received. So first of all, you have to add 20,000, and it is possible that person is a non-government employee, then he will not get any deduction. So at the time of writing deduction, he will write down nil. But and one more possibility is also there. If he is a government employee, then also it is possible that he will get only 10,000 as a deduction by calculating this amount. So that is why government is clarifying that first of all you have to add entertainment allowance under section 16 subsection 2, and then after calculating gross salary you can claim the deduction of entertainment allowance. But remember students, this deduction is available only to a government employee. To non-government employee this deduction is not available. And then what are the three conditions? Entertainment allowance received, 20% of basic salary, and 5,000. Whichever is lower will become your exemption. Now note, deduction allowed shall be irrespective of actual expenditure incurred, whether for office or personal purpose. Means how much you are spending, for what purpose you are spending, that is immaterial. What fixed deduction is specified by the government. No deduction is available under this section to non-government employees. So this deduction is available only to a government employee. That's all about entertainment allowance. And from this, one MCQ can be asked for what is the statutory limit in case of entertainment allowance, and one more MCQ that can be asked, what is the who can get the deduction in case of entertainment allowance. So in that case, your answer should be government employee, because the deduction is not available to non-government employee. Now tax on employment or professional tax, section 16 subsection 3. Tax on employment, professional, trade, etc. levied by state under article 276 of the constitution will be allowed as a deduction on cash basis. So this is also important. Professional tax is levied under which article? Article 276 of the constitution. Whether paid by employer or by employee on behalf, if it is paid by employer, then on behalf of employee, from gross taxable salary. So you will get deduction from gross taxable salary. If employer on behalf of employee pays professional tax, then what treatment should you have to do? First, it is to be included in taxable perquisites, and further it is allowed as a deduction under section 16 subsection 3 also. So if employer is paying any professional tax on behalf of employee, what treatment you have to do? You have to add into the salary and then you have to deduct. Let us say Mr. X is the employer of Mr. Y and Mr. X is paying professional tax of Mr. Y. So what treatment in this case you have to do? You have to add it into the salary of Mr. Y as a perquisite, and then same can be claimed as a deduction also. So this is all about professional tax section 16 subsection 3. Now we will discuss one full-fledged example so that it can be asked for 12 marks, it can be asked for 10 mark or 15 mark also. Now Mr. Rohit, very easy example. If you have all the concept, if you know all the concept of salary, then you are in a position to solve this. Mr. Rohit is a non-government employee, has the following salary details. So basic salary 10,000 per month. You have to multiply by 12. You will get 1 lakh 20,000. So this is first one. Dearness allowance 5,000 multiply by 12, that is 60,000. Then dearness pay, that is same thing, multiply by 12, you will get 12,000. Then fees per annum, that means fully taxable. Then house rent allowance, rent paid for Kolkata house rupees 5,000 per month. We will see one working note related to this. We will do the calculation in working note number 1. Children education allowance 3,000 per month. She is having one adopted child. It doesn't make any difference whether it is adopted child or not, whether a child is adopted or not. He She will get the deduction. Here he will come, not she, because we are talking about Mr. Rohit. He is having one adopted child. So 3,000 per month and he will get fixed deduction because amount is more than the statutory limit. 1,100 per month per child, maximum of 2 children. That is the rule. So 100 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 12 you have to make, and that is why 1,200 will be available as a deduction. We will do the same in a question also, just I am explaining. Transport allowance. Transport allowance deduction is not available to Mr. Rohit because he is not physically challenged or some category is not mentioned here. So per month, so you have to again multiply by 12. So 24,000. Every figure, if it is per month is given, you have to multiply by 12. Then hostel allowance multiply by 12 you have to make, that is 24,000. In children education allowance also you have to multiply by 12 because 3,000 multiply by 12, that is 36,000, and from this 36,000 you will get deduction of 1,200. And hostel allowance you will get deduction of 300 per month per child, maximum of 2 children. So 300 multiply by 1 multiply by 12. This deduction is available in case of hostel allowance. Uniform allowance, this is the group of TCHRU. TCHRU means the expenses, whatever expenses incurred, that will decide its exemption. So 3,000 per month received and spent 1,000 per 1,500 per month. So 1,500 per month will become exemption and remaining amount will be taxable. We will see it in example. Traveling allowance, conveyance allowance, helper allowance, research allowance and uniform allowance. In all these cases, same rule is applicable. Like second one is helper allowance. So this is also falling to this company only. So 2,000 per month and actual expenditure is rupees 1,000 per month. So person will get 1,000 per month as a deduction. Entertainment allowance 300 per month. You have to make multiply by 12. First of all, you will add and you will get the deduction for the same also after calculating gross salary. But here Mr. Rohit is not a government employee, so he will not get deduction of entertainment allowance. Professional tax paid by employee. So this is tax paid by employee. Now it is not considered as a perquisite because he is paying the tax, but professional tax paid by employer on behalf of employee. So that means here employer is paying on behalf of employee, then this will be added as a perquisite in the income of a Mr. Rohit. Now let us calculate computation of taxable salary of Mr. Rohit for the assessment year 2022-23. Very simple example. So basic salary 1,20,000. So we already discussed is how it comes. 10,000 multiplied by 12. We have done it. So 1,20,000. DNS allowance 60,000. dearness pay 12,000, then fees 50,000 we had already discussed. House rent allowance, note 1. So 31,100 is taxable. So what is exemption? How this 31,000 will come? We will see at the end of the sum. First, let us put here 31,200 to complete the sum, and then at last we will discuss. Now children education allowance, or in exam what you can do? You can leave the space here and go ahead, and then at last you can do this. Children education allowance 36,000. Exemption is what? 100 per month per child, because he has one adopted child. So he will get exemption only for one child. Multiply by 12, 1200. So 34,800 is taxable. Transport allowance 24,000. Exemption nil, because transport allowance exemption is not available to Mr. Rohit. Now next one, hostel allowance, that is hostel allowance is 24,000 less exemption 300, multiply by 1, multiply by 12, that means 3,600. So whatever is left, that will become taxable amount. Uniform allowance depends on expenditure. So 36,000, 3,000 per month, multiply by 12, 36,000, but he has spent only 1,500, so multiply by 12, 18,000 will come outside. So taxable portion is also out 18,000. Helper allowance 2,000 per month, that is 24,000, and less exemption 1,000 per month, because he has spent 1,000 per month for the helper allowance. So 12,000 is exempted portion, so 12,000 is taxable portion. So in this sum you are revising so many concept, like what treatment should be given in case of children education allowance, transport allowance, uniform allowance, helper allowance, and entertainment allowance, that we are going to discuss it right now. So in case of entertainment allowance, what treatment we have to do? Whatever he has received, we have to add it. 3,600 he has received, it is clearly given in the example. Entertainment allowance 300 per month, so 300 per month multiply by 12, 3,600. Now one more thing, as a perquisite will be added, professional tax paid by employer on behalf of employee, means this tax must be paid by employee, but it is paid by employer. Now it becomes the benefit for the employee. So that is why 1,600 will be added into the gross salary of employee. So gross taxable salary is 3,87,600. Now from that you will get three deduction. Less deduction under section 16 IA, standard deduction. Here salary is more than 50,000, 3,87,600. So gross salary is much more than 50,000. So full standard deduction of 50,000 is available. Because rule of standard deduction is that if your salary, gross salary is more than 50,000, then full 50,000 is available, and it is available to individual and HUF. Then next one, entertainment allowance. Assessee is a non-government employee. Then in that case, entertainment allowance deduction is not available. So that is why here written nil. If it is a government employee, then you have to make the calculation. You have to make you have to find out three answer. First, entertainment allowance received. So what entertainment allowance received? 3,600. Statutory limit 5,000 and 20% of basic salary. So your basic salary is 24, 1,20,000, and if you make 20% of it, you will get 24,000. So you have three answer: 5,000, 3,600, and 24,000. The least amount will be exempted. So 3,600 is the exempted. So here you have to write down 3,600. But this calculation, when we have to do this calculation, we have to do this calculation when he is government employee. But that can be changed. If I only change this word non-government to government, then here your 3,600 will come and your answer gets changed. So that is why I explain you, because no other example is covered for government employee. So I am explaining the same thing in this case also. Okay, when government employee is given, the amount will come here and your total deduction under section 16 will increase by that amount. Now professional tax. Here two types of professional tax. One is paid by employee. So 600 is paid by employee. That is also available as a deduction under section 16 subsection 3. And professional tax paid by employer on behalf of employee, that is also available as a deduction. So if you make total of 8, you will get 2200. So now what is a total deduction available to person? 50,000 plus 2200, so 52,200. So now what is taxable salary? 3,35,400. So this is the 12 mark sum over, gets over here. But here one calculation is still left, that is how to calculate HRA. So for that, first of all, read the question. How much HRA he has received? 6,000 per month. And rent paid for Kolkata is rupees 5,000 per month. That you should keep in mind. Now solve the example. Computation of house rent allowance. How to calculate? Particulars, amount rupees, amount rupees. So house rent allowance received is 72,000. So 6,000 multiplied by 12. So 72,000. Now minimum of the following under section 10 subsection 13a is exempt. So first one, actual amount received 72,000. 50% of salary. So why they have done 50% of salary? Because house is located in Kolkata, and Kolkata is a metro city. So here metro city means which type of cities are included in metro city? Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata are considered as a metro cities. So in that case, you have to take 50%. In all other cases, you have to take 40% of salary. So that is why here 50% of salary is taken. So 50% of 1,92,000 if you make, then you will get 96,000. Now how this 1,92,000? Because here salary means what? Salary means basic salary plus DA forming part plus commission, that is fixed percentage of turnover. So here basic salary is 1,20,000 plus DA and DP. So dearness allowance 60,000 plus DP means dearness pay is also given. So 12,000 you have to add. So DA means both the thing, and nothing is said whether it is forming or not forming. So you have to consider that it is a forming part. Here, let us see in the example. You will get an idea. Dearness allowance 5,000, dearness pay 1,000. Nothing is mentioned, that is whether it is how much is forming part and how much is not forming part. So that is why we are taking full. And here commission is not given. No commission on turnover is given, means normal commission is not to be added here. Remember, here only we can add which type of commission? If it is some turnover is achieved by employee, and for achieving that turnover, if he gets something, then that type of commission will be added. So this is not given. So you have to make total of this three figure, that is only two thing, basic plus DA. So you will get 1,92,000. So this way 1,92,000 comes. So now you have to make 50% of it, that is 96,000. And third step is rent paid minus 10% of salary. So rent paid is 5,000 per month. It is given in the example. 5,000 multiplied by 12, you will get 60,000 and minus 19,200. So how 19,200? That is 10% of 1,92,000. So you will get 19,200. So 60,000 minus 19,200, you will get 40,800. Now from this three value, minimum value will become exempt. So 40,800 is exempted amount. So from 72,000, you have to deduct 40,800, you will get 31,200, and it is written in the example. So same thing you have to do. House rent allowance note 1, 31,200. So this way you can do the example. Thanks for watching my video. If you have any doubt, you can write down in a comment box. I will try to give reply of your queries.